Hello and hi, welcome to Yedidia Shofet.net, and welcome to Parsha of the week, Parshat Noach. So this week's Parsha, the flood begins. And you may think that 40 days, 40 nights is just a flood that you're barricaded in a ship that only Noach had to build all alone while he was laughed at, ridiculed, and tortured for 120 years is not so bad. But think about it. 40 days and 40 nights is just the flood. He was in there for about a year. Now what were his responsibilities? His responsibilities was for his family, was obviously for himself, and were for many beasts and for many animals. And it says by the Midrashim, the expoundants of the stories in detail of the Torah, it said that many times he was injured in the process of taking care of such animals. And it's not an easy thing. Yet Noach, after going through all of this and all the pain that he went through, it says in the Torah that how was he finally remembered? That God says that, look, I think he had enough. I think it's enough. I think finally that I should bring my presence of mercy for Noach, for his kids, for his family, for the animals, in order that they can actually survive and create a new beginning of mankind, a new beginning, a new creation era part 2. You would think that, okay, that's how you say it, that God remembered Noach. Just like it says, God remembered Abraham, God remembered Sarah. But how does the Pasuk remember Noach? It says, Vayizkor Elohim et Noach ve'et kol hachaya ve'et kol habehema. It says that God remembered Noach, God remembered the chayot, which is the wild beasts, and God remembered kol habehema, all the animals. It's very interesting. It didn't just say that God remembered Noach, and Noach, after everything that he went through, it's enough. Rather, it said that went through Noach and the beasts and the animals. And because he remembered those beasts, animals, and Noach, he said, okay, the waters are going to subside. They're going to soon depart. So the question is, wow, what doesn't make any sense? Why Noach wasn't good enough? So really, Noach was good enough. Noach really had it. But how was Noach good enough? It was through the animals and through the wild beasts. And I'll explain it to you. If you remember the book of Nevi'im, the book of the prophets, there's one particular king which through animals, it was his highlight and his ticket to be a king. But before he was a king, he was just a shepherd. That's right, it was David HaMelech. Now King David, who was just a regular David with his musical instruments, he was shepherding the animals. He was just someone who was very simple. He was an outcast, if you think about it. He didn't speak to anyone. All day long he was just tending to animals. So it says that one time he was just staring out into the animals, and he sees that, look, that they were going out towards other people's lands. So he says, no, I don't want this. So he takes all the animals and he brings them to external lands. And in the external lands, he says, okay, go and graze. So the animals, they go out. The strong ones, they throw the weaker ones out of the way. They throw the older ones out of the way. And they begin to eat. What do the strong ones eat? They eat mostly everything that they can get. They get the lush, soft ones. That's the tender ones. They get it. But what happens to the older ones and the young ones? They can barely eat what they have to eat. They have weak jaws. They have young jaws. It's not nourishing. So what did David do? He's like, it's not fair. So he decided, I'm going to make a pen. I'm going to make a pen for the older ones, for the elderly sheep. I'm going to make a pen for the young ones. I'm going to make a pen for the strong ones. So in the morning comes out, he opens up the pen for the young ones. The young ones go to have the lush, soft grass, and they go and they eat and they come back. The elderly ones, they go and they eat, something that's good enough for their teeth. A little bit harder than the little baby lambs, but they're able to eat it. The third ones, all the tough shoots and everything that's left over, The big animals, the strong sheep, they devour and finish. And in that way, all three animals, they're able to survive. And I don't know if they're happy, but they're able to survive, they're able to live. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, God says in the book of Nevi'im, and I'll say the English for you, He says, one who knows how to care for his sheep so intelligently and well will make a perfect shepherd for my sheep too. Let him come and watch over Israel. And that's how David HaMelech, that was his ticket towards having the merit to become the king of Israel. So what does this have to do with us? Noach, he had to tend to whom? He had to tend to so many animals, but he actually tended to them. It was through the animals that showed that, look, that he was befitting in order to start a new world. True, Noach, it says that he wasn't the biggest tzaddik, wasn't the biggest righteous one. But yet he was very responsible, you saw over here. To be responsible for so many animals, it's to show, the pasuk, the verse is showing that, look, I remember what Noach did to all the animals, the wild beasts and the behemoth, and the regular animals. The Torah portion could have just said that all the animals. Why did it say wild beasts and animals? Because his job wasn't easy. It wasn't just putting out some of your kibbles and bits for your dog and your Shiba soft little meat that you just open up the can for your cat. No, it's not like that. You have to actually prepare food for all of these animals, different animals. Make sure they don't kill each other, these animals. The verse was showing that, what did I remember Noach? That through the difficult tests that he went through, I remembered him. I remembered what he did and how he's going to continue to be responsible in order to start and proliferate, in order to begin the second chapter of creation. So Bezrat Hashem, so what does this bring on to us? It brings on to us that, what is our responsibility? What do we have as a responsibility? Sometimes people say that, the responsibility is just for myself. I have to make sure that I have to keep myself healthy. I have to make sure that I have to go to the gym on time. It's good to go to the gym. Rambam says it's good to go to the gym. I feel bad when I don't get to exercise as much. But sometimes, if you take a moment and you realize that the overall idea is not just God remembers you for the merits that you did through yourself, that you prayed, that you learned, that you did tzedakah. But God remembered the merits that you have the responsibility towards others. Meaning, imagine that you caused another person to give tzedakah, to give charity. That means you get the merit and he gets the merit. Look at that. How much greater is that? Or for instance, if you wanted to go out jogging, and you didn't just go by yourself, you took someone else with you. You think, okay, true, it's company, it's good for you, but also that's a mitzvah. Why? Because you're not only making yourself healthy, you're making the other person healthy. Another one, when you're eating and you share your food, that form of chesed. The chesed, it gives out towards the other person. It shows the responsibility is not just me, me, me. We're born, and when we are born, it's all about me, me, me. But slowly, it begins from the me, turns into the you. It turns to giving out towards others. So Bezrat Hashem, may we learn from Noach that Noach's responsibility, it wasn't just animals, that's it. It was a very difficult time. But through those difficult times, he was able to show how caring and how responsible he is. And ultimately, may we have the responsibility for ourselves, for others, and for everyone in Klal Yisrael, to keep everyone strong, to keep everyone happy within who they are, and to be proud of their heritage. Shabbat Shalom.